sees that the man is in love with the younger one. But the father realizes that there's some blessing on the man. So he wants to keep the man. He wants to keep Jacob. Whether Jacob likes it or not, Laban wants to keep Jacob. And because of that, he tricks Jacob and gives the older one to Jacob for marriage. You know, what Laban did, it could have just been resolved through dialogue. He could have just told Jacob that, look, in our culture, older girls don't marry before younger girls. And it's not just the Jewish culture. In our culture, in the African culture, some African nations, they will say the older girl cannot marry before the younger girl. And it's just a way of making sure that there's no jealousy and no, contention. So Laban could have just explained to Jacob that, look, you have to wait for someone to marry Leah and then you can marry Rachel, or you can marry Leah and marry Rachel as well. It could have just occurred through conversation, but Laban decided not to do that. And also, Jacob was a man with contention over his life, because we all know that when he arrived in Laban's house, he had tricked his older brother, his father, and taken Esau's blessing. So he had trouble, he had a lot of revenge on his life. You know, beloved, we reap what we sow. Some things don't come to us unless we've done some things that trigger, some things. Jacob was not an innocent man. So we could, we could even think that perhaps it was because of what he had done to his brother that this calamity came on him. So we see some main players in the life of Leah, this young girl, who may not even be thinking about marriage at that time. But we see some strong players in her life who are about to change the trajectory of her life forever. Her father and this man who is in love with her younger sister. So they come together and Laban decides, I'm going to trick Jacob. So the Bible says that on the night that Jacob got married, he didn't even realize that he was marrying Leah. That's a whole different story. To marry someone and not to know who you have married. I believe in this generation, a lot of people are married and they don't know who they are marrying. They don't. They don't know the background, they don't know the motivators of the person,